These are the VRS Direct Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so a really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Side gunning for a goal, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat, great time when the lights go green. We light the sky. Let's light it up. Let's
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome back to the iRacing World Challenge as we gear up for our next season and series of events across the league. We gear up for a massive season ahead, not only for our namesake series, the VRS Porsche Cup Series, starting Monday night, but also this little bad boy, a real treasure that has really become a jewel of our weekend here in the IRWC, the Rod Knock Cup. And tonight it returns for its second season with a bit of a change and a much bigger and better field coming into this season. We come into tonight, round one at Echo Park Speedway here in Atlanta for round one. And we come here with a next generation of cars. The Camaro, the Mustang and the Camry of the modern day NASCARs joins the field. We replace the Arcas of last season. We move on to the next gen cars here tonight. Joining you, as always, Hamish Munro here this evening as we gear up for a massive season ahead. We're coming in towards the end of practice at the moment, and then into qualifying and into our race start very shortly as well. 80 laps tonight of Echo Park. It's going to be a wild time here, one of the top 3 super speedways in the world, and of course here in iRacing as well. It's going to be a tough track, tough on tyres, with tightening lanes around the corners of the tri-oval. It's going to be a tough night for these drivers. Looking ahead though to this season, we are introducing a couple of other things as well, including an 11th round as we introduce a playoff system this season. So the first 8 rounds will be the regular championship. That will get you an opportunity to get into the playoffs at the end of the season to win the title. Of course, one big question coming off of last season was who was the champion, because we ended the season in controversy. We ended it up in the air. We didn't know who won, whether it was Chop Tomlin or Kurt Chapman. It was decided post-race that Kurt Chapman was the winner of the championship. He will ride with the number 1 this season. The course starts tonight at Atlanta at Echo Park. Next week we head out for 69 nice laps of Homestead, Miami, then to Chicago Street Course on the 3rd of October for 30 laps. Out to Chicagoland the week after for 80 laps. Pocono in round 5 for 50 laps, with Sonoma, our second street course of the season, for 35 laps on the 24th of October. On Halloween night, 31st of October, we'll be going racing at Bristol Dirt Circuit for 155 laps in round 7, and round 8 out at Nashville Super Speedway for 84 laps on the 7th of November. That will round out the regular season. Top 10 in the championship will then go into the playoffs, starting out at Texas Motor Speedway for 99 laps in round 9, Mexico City for round 10 for 32 laps, and ending it all at the one and only Talladega Super Speedway for 69 nice laps in the final round of the season. From tonight, here on the 19th of September until the 28th of November, in 11 weeks' time, we'll be bringing the action live right here on Infinity Broadcasting. It is going to be a massive season ahead, and we are so looking forward to it. One other big change coming to this season as well, not just the playoffs, is we are introducing stages as well. 45% of the race distance will be stages across the season. Stage points can be quite crucial because they can help you make the playoffs later in the season. They can give you a stronger playoff position as well in those final 3 rounds. It'll be a knockout-based system across the final 3 rounds. 10 will go into round 9. Only 7 will go into round 10, and then only 4 will go into round 11. But the whole field will be racing across the piece as well. As we come into tonight's event, though, I mean, it's a massive season ahead for us here in the IRWC. Originally penciled in, we were going to be going racing for 3 different series. The Rod Knock Cup, of course, on Fridays, the Porsche Cup on the Mondays, and then the GTE Sports Car Championship on the Wednesdays. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our GTE Sports Car Championship due to the lack of entry numbers before we cut it off. So Wednesdays is now opened up. We'll open that option up to other drivers in future, maybe throw a poll out there. Our current front-running options will be either the Ferrari Challenge or the Dark Horse Challenge using the new Mustang GT4 car, but that's all for 2026. So to end out 2025, we've got to run through Rod Knocks and we've got to run through Porsches. If you're only just joining us and you didn't join us last season and you didn't get to see the details in the upcoming first round of the Porsche Cup Series, big changes coming into that series as well. We're introducing classes. We're currently in the midst of pre-qualifying with gold, silver and bronze class opportunities on offer for drivers next season. We're going racing out at Laguna Seca this coming Monday on the 22nd of September for round 1 for our first feature race of the season. Heading out to Homestead, Miami in round 2 for a rush round, Chicago in round 3, Road America in round 4, Montreal, Alton Park, Zandvoort, Algarve, Imola. We then get to round 10 at Bathurst, which will be on the Saturday 22nd of November, which is as one of the support categories for the Pro Series finale weekend for the Gamesman Pro GT Series and the Logitech G Pro Supercars Series as well for their Bathurst 1000. The Monday after that will then be the finale round, round 11 out at Belle Isle. So it's a massive season coming. Both series, I know that Porsche's has got 2 drop rounds, whether Rodnox does or not. I have to be updated on that. Qualifying, though, is getting underway for these drivers at the moment. So drivers are out there at this stage, including Logan Howard. There's a couple of drivers back from last season, including Jack Anderson, who's now in the Toyota. Kurt Chapman, the defending champion, is out on track. Bailey Brannon's out there as well. Bliss Ferguson is out there in the number 21 entry too, as a couple of times are beginning to come in here during qualification at this stage. So as qualifying is underway, we'll be able to track the lap times as they happen. Johnny Rose back once again as well as Ash DeVries is out there too. Mark Howard's out there as well on circuit. A couple of crossovers from our other series. Lachlan Capel out of the Porsche Cups in here, as well as Dylan Shepherd. Logan Howard is in for the first time this season too. We look forward to seeing how he goes. David Lawler's out there, as well as Jack Michelson too. Ben Woods crosses over from the Porsche Cup Series. Ricky Hyde, one of the V8 Vets drivers, of course, he comes to the Series 2. Nick Burling. Kyle Gretcher's back. Yeaman's in. Graver's in from the US over in I2I. So Bailey Brannon will have a friend out there. Rain Campbell's out there. Jake Edwards too. Fire up Jake Edwards fans. And Brady Stanley, as well as Ryan Bettis and John Trott too, and Matt Feely. I'm just catching names as I go along here. So qualifying, though, only 2 laps for the drivers this season. It's a much tougher run this season. One of the other changes was as well, we took away the unlimited fast repairs this season, and instead we've limited it to 10 because we thought, well, if someone's using 10 fast repairs, that's kind of on them at that point. So that's going to be a thing for the future for these drivers to have to worry about throughout the season. A heap of chats out there already. JJ Endo's out there with us. Roundin's out there as well. Dill's in the chat with us too. Joe Dice out there with us as well. Project 36, Brendan Griffiths out there with us too. How you going, Brendan? So great to have you all along with us though. Dylan asking, any car specs, lap times much quicker in these cars? So the big changes are, Dylan, these cars have got 5 gears. They've also got more horsepower. They will do fairly quicker lap times than the ARCA cars did. These cars handle a fair bit differently than those ARCA cars. As Jack said in the chat, we'll try and get a comparison video for next week so you guys get a better idea of the differences between the Next Gen NASCARs, the modern day NASCARs, and the modern day ARCA cars as well. Drivers are just trying to finish up their laps here too in qualifying, so we'll see how they go. A couple of drivers yet to set a time in the session, including Brady Stanley, Jake Edwards, Rain Campbell, Trey Graber, Daniel Yeaman. They get to set times out there as well. It's going to be a massive season though, absolutely massive. I'm so excited for all these new things that we get to introduce this season, including stages and the playoff system as well, but also maintaining the fun of the Rodnock Cup. That's the main thing we want to do is keep the fun, make sure drivers are out there having a good time on a Friday night and coming out and having a crack at some oval racing as well. It's going to be a stellar affair. You guys don't want to miss any of it. So if you're just joining us, you've been here for a little while and you haven't done so already, we'd so appreciate it if you could click that like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing this season and in future seasons as well. We've clicked over 220 subscribers, so it's a massive thank you to everyone out there who's been supporting the broadcast efforts and supporting the series that we broadcast as well. Of course, the Vets will be joining or coming back next season for season 25. That'll be going live a week from tomorrow. So a week from tomorrow will be round 1 of the Vets. Monday's round 1 of the Porsche Cup Series. Tonight, of course, round 1 for the Rodnock Cups as well. So we're getting in full swing of getting up and running again in broadcast land. And it's going to be a fun time going forward. So as drivers are just getting done and dusted with their qualifying laps, at the moment, it is the American Bailey Brannon who sits on pole position as qualifying comes to an end. he'll hold pole position in that 60 car. He's got something to prove tonight, does Bailey. He will be wanting to maximize on this series. Round 1, Season 2, soon to get underway. It's going to be an absolutely massive affair for these drivers as they begin to get gridded up in the pit lane. To give you the gridding now, Bailey Brown then starts pole ahead of Ben Woods, Lachlan Capel, Jack Michelson on the second row, Ash DeVries, Kurt Chapman, ahead of Ryan Bettis and Jake Edwards. Ricky Hyde, David Lawler make up the top 10. Kyle Gretsch, Dylan Shepherd ahead of Mark Howard and Matt Feely. Bliss Ferguson ahead of Jack Anderson, Johnny Rowe, John Trott ahead of Nick Burling and Logan Howard, with Daniel Yeaman, Rain Campbell ahead of Brady Stanley and Trey Graber at the back of the field. Drivers will be beginning to get lined up now to head out on track as well. Lap 36 is the stage end here this evening. So the first stage will go until lap 36. A caution will then get thrown, and the top 10, whomever they are, will be the stage point getters here tonight. It'll be 10-1. So 10 points for first, 1 point for 10th at the end of the first stage. And then the rest of the race will be up for grabs for regular racing points. There's no win and you're in scenario for the playoffs. It isn't you win a race and you're in. It is you must finish in the top 10 in the championship to make the playoffs at the end of the season. Exciting stuff to come throughout this race. Exciting stuff to come throughout this season, as well as the drivers are getting themselves prepared and getting themselves ready to rumble around Echo Park Speedway once again. What a race it was last season when we were last here. And I think what better way could we open up the season in Next Gen machinery? As, you know, the drivers, I mean, they're hungry to do better. You know, they're hungry to do better. A new challenge has been thrown down to them this season. It's a much bigger field. The skill spread is much bigger as well this season. There's a lot more top-end heavy skill spread coming into this season. So it's going to be a much bigger challenge for these drivers going forward. Lights are up. The pace car is about to pull away for the first time this season as cars trickle on out of pit road. We get prepped for 80 laps of Echo Park Speedway action. This is going to be intense. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I was counting down the days, counting down the weeks for this series to return. And now that it's back, it feels like a pipe dream. It feels like it feels too good to be true, to be honest with you. It feels so good to see these cars back out on circuit and to see these drivers back out there as well. It's going to be a fun time this season, and I hope you're going to be willing to join us for all 11 rounds of the piece. Brannon and Woods on the front row. What can they do off the start? Capel and Michelson. The big game changer in this race will be the slipstream. How well do you determine, how well do you carry the momentum in this race? Momentum's going to be a big factor, remember. That could cause chaos if drivers are not properly prepared for what is to come throughout tonight's event. Trickle on round towards the tri-oval and the exit of turn 4. The pace car will enter pit road. Brannon, Woods, front row start. We get to the start zone of this race, and it's green flag for round 1 of season 2. Good start from the front runners. They settle into their rhythm now. Capel on the heels of Brannon. DeVries is up there too. Woods is dropping back here on that outside line. He's got to try and find some rhythm here. The OPR cars starting to put the hurdle on him back there as we settle up for lap 2 for the first time. And as I said, I mean, a nice tidy start. No issues just yet. No pace car called either. No cautions out there. Bettis has got to run on the outside line now at Capel as he puts the pressure on Brannon for P1. They've got to be careful though of the tyre wear. What's the strategies going to be tonight in terms of tyre wear? Do you go bold and do you go risky and try and stay inside the top 10 for the first stage? Or do you play it safe and change right-hand side tyres in the first pit stop just to try and get an advantage for later on? That's going to be the real test. And that's going to be the strat game as drivers just running a bit wide further back there. We see The Giraffe, Jack Michelson, putting the pressure now on Ben Woods on that outside line. It's a real scramble for position as all the drivers are just getting themselves sorted. Rain Campbell, Trey Graber, neither of them have made the race start here tonight. That's unfortunate. Brayden Stanley is making up the back of the field at the moment. But, I mean, look at the pressure that would be on the back of Bailey Brannan right now. I mean, the pressure of Lachlan Capel on his heels. He is off. There is the first caution of the season. It has happened, and I think it's gotten even worse. Further back, there's Dylan Shepherd. His bonnet's up. Ando's off the road as well. I think De Vries was involved. Nick Burling was too. So a couple of cars have been involved in this one early on. Let's have a look at why and how this occurred back there. Oh, okay. So that actually happened further up. That happened with De Vries and Shepherd. That was the initial contact that happened between them. So let's get a better view of it and try and see how it's happened. So De Vries just leaning over on Shepherd a little bit. That's then when he goes round. And as De Vries goes round, Shepherd gets dumped up to the top. He's back on road. Burling has nowhere to go. Multiple cars getting caught up in that initial incident. Could be a first of a couple of fast repairs to get used as the pace car comes out. First caution of the race. Interesting how it all plays out from here. Let's have a quick chat to someone out of the Discord. Let's have a little quick chat here. Where is Endo actually? I don't want to screw him up as he comes to get something. He's already come there. Where's De Vries? De Vries is in, so let's have a quick chat to him. Mr. De Vries,
oh boy.
Unfortunate moment there early on. I watched it back, just looked like you leant on Dill a little bit and then ran, you went. Pretty chaotic start though for this one. There was about 5 or 6 cars involved in that one. You were one of them. What's the thought process from here? Is it going to be a full send now?
Oh, absolutely, mate. You best believe it. I thought I was not in the wrong there, but I'll have to watch that one back. It all happened so quickly. These cars bounce around a little bit more than I'm used to, washing wide in the corners and such, but we'll just put our head down and go from here.
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe a couple more cautions to come. Could see you back on the lead lap very
let's see about that. Yeah,
we'll see. But,
appreciate that.
No worries, Shoz. Best of luck, mate, and thanks for
having
a chat. Yum, yum.
Cheers.
So a good little catch up there with Ash De Vries. That's part of that incident. It could have gone either way, I suppose, actually. Dylan was on the inside. De Vries in really deep for him. I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to pick. A couple of drivers have come in, including Ryan Bettis. Jake Edwards has been in as well. Yeaman's been in. This could be tactical from some of these guys if they were able to steer clear of that early incident. Ferguson's been in. Anderson's been in, of course. Rowe, Burling, Chapman, all those guys have been in. I think De Vries had to tow. That's what he's currently waiting on at this stage of the race. Brannan is going to have control of the field when we get restarted. Lights should go out on the next lap by. And we'll be getting ready for green flag running once again here out at Echo Park Speedway. An early caution there on lap 4. We've gone a couple of laps since then, so I'd say we're going to file up next time by and get prepped to go racing in 2 laps time. Get in the chat tonight if you're watching along with us. Let us know anyone you want to keep an eye on or anything you want us to talk about as well across the race. We're going to be here for the whole time, no matter how long the race takes. It is time limited if we can't make 80 laps, but I feel like we should be able to. We managed to make that distance last time we were here. Lights go out on the pace car, 2 wide for the restart. Now, one of the rule changes that were made coming into this season was you can't deliberately back off on the start to try and get a run in towards turn 1. You also can't change lanes until you have hit the start line of the racetrack. So if someone's lined up in front of you, you've got to lift and you've got to wait. You can't just bore it through and hope for the best. So that should tidy up some restarts, should hopefully tidy up some issues. We also still have the rule in place of single file restarts if an incident happens within a lap or 2 of the green flag. Capel and Brannan will have control of the front of the field. ERT versus American Bald Eagle Power of the Florida State man himself. Ricky Hyde behind, of course, Vets driver. We've seen him prior to now on the channel before in previous Vets seasons. Ben Woods up there as well. He's been in the Porsche Cup with us too. Jack Michelson, he's the X factor back there. He's got wicked pace. Did very well last season in the ARCA cars, but he has got his money's worth of I don't want to say struggles, but definitely tests coming into this season. So it's going to be very interesting how that plays out. Matty Feely as well is going to be one to watch too. Kyle Gretsch, well, he's opted not to come into pit lane on that first stop. Could have been a free stop possibly. Pace cars in though. We'll get to the restart zone here tonight as the green flag flies once again at Echo Park. Lap 8 of 36 of stage 1. We're underway. Good start once again from the front runners. A little bit of scrambling from the back markers and the mid-pack as well, but as they run up towards the start-finish line, see Woods is trying to get moves done here on Hyde, who's been caught on the high line. Michelson's now up into P3 as well. Hyde's been caught up high. Feely wants to sneak on through, but the door gets shut in behind them. It's big pressure moments like this that make or break the racing. As we see Michelson tuck right up behind Capel. He wants a line, but he needs someone to give him a push. He may get caught out here on the midline as through comes Woods on the inside. That may have been a mistake trying to go for it. As through comes Lawler as well, one of the championship contenders of last season. Trots up there too with Edwards and Johnny Rowan behind them as they're scrambling for position at the back end of the top 10. See a couple of those OPR cars battling away. Logan Howard caught on the high line now. He's going to drop a couple of spots. Ando's had a good start coming out of pit lane. Remember, he was caught in an incident earlier on. Ferguson's had to tow back to pits. I'm not sure what's happened. But he is back in pit lane. But look at this, almost 3 wide into turn 1. It is going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Look at this action here in the mid-pack. It is really intense stuff. And you know that one little mistake, one poor wiggle, could see the big red car come crashing down and the fruit salad going everywhere. Oh, that's a massive stack there. David Lawler into the wall. A massive incident out of turn 4. Yellow flag, of course, is thrown. I think Ben Woods was the other one involved. That is a monumental incident off the exit of turn 4. There you see there, just getting caught up on the rear end of Woods' car. And that's how Lawler's ended up in the wall. Absolutely monstrous incident. Let's try and see this better. So Lawler starts to run up high. We saw Woods start to come down a bit low, so they've come together. It wasn't necessarily one or the other's fault. And then Lawler's in the barrier. You see in the mirror there, you saw Woods enter the barrier as well. How anyone else made that through, I have no idea. But that is a mammoth incident at this point of the race. Second caution thrown now. That was huge. Let's have a quick chat to Mr. Anderson.
He's on an escalator. It's going upstairs, so see you later.
Hello, Ando.
Hello.
What a race start this has been, my friend.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
I've gone from the mid to the back to the front.
You've done everything. You've done everything in between. Lawler's claiming that Woods chopped his nose there, but I don't know. It looked like you ran up a little bit higher. That's for another time. What a race start though. You were behind that incident as it happened. What was that kind of a pucker and hold your breath moment there for you as you came through 4?
No, I just aimed for the bottom and hope for the best, to be honest.
Aim for the smoke and hopefully you make it through.
No, I avoided the smoke this time.
Ooh.
No days of thunder happening.
No days of thunder. Well, we saw you involved in that early incident on lap 4. You managed to make your way back up to P7 at this stage. It's been good racing thus far, though. Big scrambles. I mean, kind of Oracle moment called it out. So they're all over the place. It might not be long until we get an incident. Then, bam, turn 4. That massive incident happens. But I mean, what's the strategy at the moment in this one? I mean, how far can the fuel make it in comparison to the stage end? I assume there's definitely going to need to be a pit stop prior to the stage end, unless we get mass cautions.
It's going to be close now, I think. I know I'm definitely fine. because I pitted for damage in the first one. But I think Bailey said that if we got another safety car, everyone should be fine. So we'll have to see.
Well, time will tell. I mean, I suppose they might be fine on fuel, but they got to try and keep it out of the wall as well. So that could also be a tough task.
Yeah, exactly. Super speedways are always a bit of death, but no, it's been really good so far. It's a really good turnout. I know there was a couple people more, like Gravy and Borsman, who were stopped by either iRacing or their internet. So, and a couple people that weren't able to show up tonight, so it should be really good.
Should be good for next week. Best of luck.
Trey also throughput as well, so
okay.
he's not racing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And Jordan lost connection, so he's now let down if he's back.
He is back, so we'll see how he goes. Restart's about to get back on the way there. We'll let you go. Thanks for coming to have a chat. And yeah, best of luck off this restart and throughout the rest of stage 1.
All right, thanks, mate.
Thank you. He's about to deafen all the other people in that chat now that I moved him back because of his little entrance. So. But yeah, I mean, we only had one angle look at it of that incident, of course. So we're not going to put too many comments on it. I'm just going to put my hands up and say that everything is a racing incident tonight, if you ask me, because Atlanta is a real X factor when it comes to racing. So we'll see how everyone goes. A couple of drivers are a couple laps down. Rain Campbell is out there. He got in late, unfortunately for Rain Campbell. So he's a few laps down on the race leaders. But if there's mass chaos, there could be a chance he gets back on the lead lap. But I doubt that's going to happen at this stage. But if he can survive instead of trouble, might be okay. Ferguson's back in. Lawler's back out on track 2. DeVries, Howard, Shepherd. The other cars that are a lap down. So if we get another caution momentarily, Shepherd will get a lap back on the field. Brannon's going to lead us away off the third restart of this race. Capel P2, Trot Edwards. The OPR trains at the front of the field. Let's see how they go off the restart as they enter in towards the restart zone, and it is green flag running at Echo Park. Once again, lap 15 of 36. We're a couple laps away from halfway to the end of stage 1 here this evening. Once again, a solid start from Lachlan Capel on the back of Bailey Brannon, playing the smart long game here. Yeaman wants moves further back as he battles away with Jake Edwards and Matty Feely. Anderson's involved in that one as well. Michelson up the inside of John Trott onto the podium position at the moment. In behind him is Kurt Chapman running in the Liquid Death car there. He didn't get his Project 36 car in time, it seems. And as they run down the back straight, well, it's major pressure, especially in the mid-pack, as Johnny Rose having big blinking issues at the moment. That could turn dangerous, as that there was Jake Edwards into the wall. Edwards into the wall at turn 3-4. That OPR car as the caution is thrown. So another caution here at Echo Park. That is a big one there for Jake Edwards. I hope the Jake Edwards fans are firing up out there. Let's see, how has that turned out for Mr. Jake Edwards? How has that occurred? Let's watch this back. Well, this is already when the yellow is thrown, so we have to pull the cheeky and just do a bit of a reverse here, try and figure out how this has happened. So we have Yeaman in behind. Get a better angle of it. So Yeaman's in behind. I think it gives him a little bump mid-corner. Yep, just the slightest of bumps. That's unsettled Edwards, and then straight into the Quaker State logo on the wall. And that car's got a bit broken. Luckily for Edwards, he's got a fast repair. He's got 10 of them available, actually. So bring that car back in pit lane. Brannon has stayed out. Capel and Michelson have all stayed out as well. So those guys are banking on the fact that they can make it on fuel to the end of the stage. And I suppose when you've got track position, you might as well stay at the front of the field. Chapman and Anderson, they pitted back on lap 5. They're in a good spot as well. Feely up into P6. Gretsch in P7. He pitted on lap 12 as well. So there's a bit of fuel offset here. This could really change the strategy game now throughout the rest of this race and how it plays out for these drivers. Be very interesting how it all sorts itself out as they all settle into their grooves here. Gretsch is, I think, just pulled up on the road somewhere. Yeah, he is. He's still out there though. Still running quite well at the moment. Let's drag in and have a quick chat to Jack Michelson and see how he's going. Mr. Michelson, welcome in. I've just stolen your way for a second here as we line up for this caution. You've had a great race so far. Up one position at the moment, keeping it clean. How good is it to have these fast boys in front to give you a real challenge?
It's unreal, Hamish. Thank you for taking the time to chat. Yeah, keeping my nose clean, which is what it's about. It gets a bit hairy in these pack battles, but it's awesome fun. So that's the aim. Just get to the end, get through this first stage, hopefully put ourselves in a position to score some stage points and see where we end up.
Of course, probably just wanting to run as long as possible and at a hold track position. I think at this stage with the cautions, you should be able to make it to the stage end. I suppose come straight in as the caution's thrown once the stage points have been calced, and then get the car topped up and see how far you can go from there. Are you likely, if you need to do a green flag stop later in the race, are you going to hope that you get a draft partner to come in with you? Because if you come out on your own and the rest of the field's caught in that draft, it may affect you and your position gain, across the piece. I mean, what's the thought process, especially later in the race when you're going to look to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're out on your own here, you're going backwards. So you need some partnerships to try and pull yourself forward. And yeah, same goes here. You try and stay in a pack as long as possible. Keep a track position because, as you can see, a few big wrecks early, a bit further back in the pack. So just trying to avoid any of that and wrecking your race before it really begins.
Well, we'll let you get prepped up for this restart. Thanks so much for coming over chat to us. Best of luck in the rest of this stage, and that we're past the halfway point. We'll see if you can either get yourself a stage podium or possibly even a stage win if the rhythm goes your way.
Thanks, boys. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah, hope to put on a show.
No worries. Thanks, Jacko. Jack Michelson there, currently third position. His fastest lap of the race, 29.846 at this stage, as he runs around in P3 at the moment, in behind Lachlan Capel and Bailey Brannan at the front end of the field as well. For Brannan, well, he has been on an absolute tear thus far. He has led every single lap of this race. Capel has just been sitting in behind him, biding his time, saving fuel, and playing the patient game, which is sometimes the smartest option as well. Lights out are on the pace car, or lights are out on the pace car, sorry, so it's going to be a single file restart for this time by. So hopefully we get a nice long green run from here. As we head up towards the restart zone, there are less than 18 laps to the stage end. Green flag is flown, lap 20 of 36. 17 left until stage one is complete and the first points of season 2 are allocated. And Brannan gets away nicely. Capel's gone right with him. I think he's just going to continue to play this patient game. Keep it clean, keep it consistent. Consistency is going to be key this season, and Capel knows that all too well. Michelson and Chapman in behind him, and look at the draft train between them. Bit of head and toe action there in the top three. The Camaros are dominating up there at the moment. Look at the first Mustang and Chapman, the first Camry and Anderson as well. Then Feely, Gretsch, Burling, Hyden Woods make up the top 10 as we cross for lap 21. As John Trott comes into pit road, Logan Howard in as well. I think it might be a drive-through possibly for jumping the restart, because there'd be no points coming in for a pit stop under green at this stage. Bucket boy Bailey Brannan is doing a great job at the front of the field though. It's scrambling in behind, continues for those drivers as they begin to mount the pressure at the moment. There you see Michelson hanging with him. Here comes Chapman though on the outside. Can he get a run? Could he possibly get some toe off of Capel? But now he's going to get caught in the midline through 1 and 2. This might drop him back a little bit. He needs a bit of a little rear end kiss from Ricky Hyde in behind him. Otherwise he's going to get buried in the field. That's the struggle at this stage. They've got to get a little draft train happening on that midline if they want to make it work. As Gretsch now up into the top 5 as well. Ando's getting buried a little bit door to door between Woods and Kurt Chapman as they battle away. Brannan doing a great job up there. Here comes Ricky Hyde. He's now forced Chapman onto the outside line. 3 wide stuff through turn 1 and 2. I mean, the racing has been epic tonight. It's been chaos as we kind of predicted it would be here at Echo Park, but the racing has been spectacular as they run through turn 4 once again. Lap 24 of 36. It's only 13 laps to go. Unlucky for some, maybe lucky for others. As Matt Feely now finds himself up into the top 3. Gretsch looks for a top 4 spot as well. And the battling in behind them has been absolutely epic. But what sort of pressure right now is on this man? Bailey Branham, we're right on board. As Lachlan Capel is hot in pursuit in P2. Hanging on to the rear of the 60 entry. Gives him a little bump draft across the tri-oval as well. And look at the gaggle of cars behind him. That there is maximum pressure, really lasted as they come up to some lap traffic ahead of them. I believe that might be Logan Howard. It is Logan Howard, who's unfortunately had to come in for an extended stop hold penalty, so that has hurt him in this race. And there is the next caution. Someone's been involved. It was Ricky Hyde. Ricky Hyde has been involved. We're going to have to go back a little bit here just to get a better view of this. So, oh, it seemed to be quite chaotic. So that's right on board with Kurt Chapman. We're going to get a good view of this. Chapo, in fact, let's actually stop it here. We're pulling all the sneakies here tonight. So Chapo with it. The littlest of touches. And then as that happens, chaos breaks loose, including Hyde, and then rides up back high into Chapman, and round he is. So that's a tough incident for Hyde. It's another caution that's thrown. Capel is coming into pit road. So he might be thinking strategy here. He's thinking strategy game. He's thinking the rest of the race, and he's thinking possibly let's try and get some fuel on board this car. Let's see where we end up, and let's see if we can be in the beneficiary position later on. Yeaman and Chapman are both in as well. Ricky Hyde's in the pit lane, of course, with that damage that he had. So Capel traverses through pit road. Of course, started in P3. He's now going to drop down the order a little bit here. He gets back up on the jacks, so he takes some tyres. Could be a smart play, to be honest with you. Does that fix it? No, that makes it that. Okay. So Capel gets those tyres on the car. All four going on board that one. Chapman and Yeaman, I believe, have taken possibly just right sides. Ricky Hyde has taken all four as well. So big strategy coming the way of Lachlan Capel. He's thinking race distance. He's not thinking stage points at this point of the race. Bailey Brannan, Matt Feely, Jack Michelson, the only cars yet to come into pit lane. Their tyres have been saved by the fact that the cautions have been so frequent here this evening. What that means is, obviously, they've now got fresher tyres for the latter point of this race. They've got a few sets in the back pocket to be able to put onto these cars. So that's going to give them a little bit of an advantage, especially if there's a later pace car. They decide they may want to come in for a bit of fuel, or maybe not fuel, but just some fresh rubber as well. Be interested to see how this all plays out. We should be getting restarted very shortly here. What a race it's been, though. Incredible race thus far. David Lawler's in the pit lane now. So it could possibly be something coming his way, maybe a drive-through. That car looks a bit damaged. So I think maybe a fast repair might be needed on board that 136 entry. Chop says, how much you don't need me. I mean, you know, Chop would have been interested to see how actually would have done amongst this field this season, actually. But, you know, with more cars on track, it's more likely we're going to get incidents happening as well to get safety cars. Hey, we're getting safety cars as well. So Lawler takes the fast repair, puts a bit of fuel in it as well, and now it gets reset once again and goes back out there. Lights out on the pace car, 2 wide restart, 2 lanes once again. Feely and Brannan, the backfield. Gretchen Woods, they've got the newest tyres of the front runners at the moment. Then it's Michelson, Rowe, Anderson, Burling. Then we get back to Ryan Bettis, who pitted on lap 2. And then Jake Edwards, who pitted on lap 17. He has got the freshest tyres at this stage before we get to Daniel Yeaman right behind him, who pitted on lap 26. So fresh tyres galore for some drivers, a gamble for others not coming into pit road throughout these caution periods. I mean, it's a good strategy from the front runners. Stay out, take your track position, try and stay out of the mess that has been the mid-pack and the backpack as well. Hey, you might come up with a rucksack towards the end of this race. Pace car will come in though. 4th caution will end. Restart zone about to light up again with green flag running at Echo Park. And we have got barely any time left before the end of the stage. It'll be 8 laps to go in stage 1 as the green flag flies at Echo Park and Brannan gets a hot start. Feely's been left behind as Gretsch looks for an inside line now. Michelson going to give him a bit of a bump draft to get them both through past Feely, and there's already a caution. There is already a caution that has been thrown. It's Jake Edwards. Fire up, Jake Edwards fans. Round he goes in the 11 car. It is another caution, and it's Ricky Hyde who's had a bit of contact with him. Round he goes. There is why the caution was thrown. Capel was caught up in it too, as was Logan Howard, as was David Lawler. And that there is the only issue with Lachlan Capel's strategy of coming in under that caution. Because unfortunately, he's now been caught out in an incident that was not his fault. And he may be carrying some damage on board that Evolution Racing Team Camaro. So he'll have some work to do now throughout this race. He's back in P14. He's only 4 spots away from a top 10 spot to get stage points. But this is going to be a fantastic end to this stage, and maybe the rest of this race as well. It's anyone's game at this point. Capel's just trying to get up to position. I think he's coming into pit road to get the fast repair. Smart play from Capel there, coming and get it done. Chop in the chat, yeah, was going to join, but long days ahead to get ready for Speedway. It's all good. It's all good, Chop. Hopefully we'll see you guys in future seasons. Back with us again. We'll see if we're running Next Gens again in Season 3 of the Rod Nut Cups, or if it's something else, we'll let the drivers vote. We'll see what happens. So, Brannan stayed out once again. He could caution his way to a stage win here tonight. Gretsch is up into P2 on that fresh rubber. Michelson in P3. Feely, Anderson, Bettis, Woods, Stanley, Rowe and Chapman makes up the top 10. Lights are still on the safety car, so we're going to sneak in someone who may have a bit of a blood nose right now. Mr. Gretsch, how bloody is your nose right now, being so high up the timing tower?
It's very strange. I mean, last race I was last race out with you guys. I didn't do too bad, so I don't want to get you too used to it though.
True, you got a podium out of it, and you ran the Old Spice car in the last race, so you've kept that sponsorship into this one.
It must be the lucky sponsor.
It must be. Freshest tyres are the top 5 right now, but you have got Michelson breathing down your neck.
I haven't taken tyres yet.
Oh, haven't you? Well then, you've got the freshest fuel load on the car, so your tyres are just as old as the other 4. But
I haven't pitted for a while either.
Yeah, no, that was lap 6, lap 12. So
yeah,
a bit of work to do. But I mean, nonetheless, you know, hopefully
getting pretty fit fuel though.
Yeah, hopefully this is a good sign for you though. I mean, you're going to have only a few laps to go before the stage end. If you can hold position, or if a caution's thrown, you'd be pretty much guaranteed stage points at the top end of town. I mean, that'd be a great way to start your season.
Exactly. I mean, I like going for the overall win, but a stage win would be handy.
Well, it'll help you later on in the season if you can get consistent and get good points. Maybe the making or breaking situation to get you into the playoffs as well. So only time will tell. I'll let you get prepped for the restart, though. Great job thus far in this one, and best of luck throughout the rest of it.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Kyle Gretsch there. P2 at the moment, in behind Bailey Brannan. Jack Michelson's up there as well in P3. Feely, Anderson, Bettiswood, Stanley, Rowe, Chapman. That is the current top 10. Now, will it remain like that before the end of the stage? Well, who knows? The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to restart on the next lap. Currently, it's lap 32, so we're going to restart at the commencement of lap 33. There will be 4 laps to the end of the stage. Just 4 laps. If a caution is thrown in that 4 laps, the stage will end, and whoever is in the top 10 by lap 36 will be the stage points getters. Now, important mindset to have. If you are in that top 10 and the caution is thrown before lap 36, do not come into pit lane. Don't come in and take your stop, because you'll drop out of the top 10. The points are calculated as of the end of lap 36. So that there is the thought process you must bring to the possibility, at least, of a caution being thrown. And statistically speaking, it's probably very high that we're going to have a caution thrown, as we're at our 5th of this race. We're only just coming up at the end of stage 1 before stage 2 commences towards the checkered flag. Will we have 5 more before the end? Well, the pace car's in. Will it be for the last time tonight, or will it be for the last time this stage? Time will tell. Restart zone activates. Green flag running. 4 laps to go of Echo Park Speedway before the end of stage 1, and Brannon is in control in the 60 entry. Gretsch P2, Michelson, Feely, Bettis, Anderson, Woods, Stanley, Rowe and Hyde are our current top 10. Will it remain that way towards the end as Brannon goes hard into the wall? Brannon into the wall out of the race lead. It's heartbreak, and it's a mammoth shot. The big one has happened. Caution is thrown. That'll end the stage. What an end to stage 1. A diabolical end. He tried to get back up and running again, back onto the back straight, but unfortunately just slid up the rears. How did this happen? Was it bump drafting with Gretsch? I think it was. A bit of bump draft from Gretsch has gotten him loose in P1, and off the road he goes and into the barrier. He led the whole way towards the end of the stage, and Bailey Brannon will be heartbroken right now. Burling and co tried to take evasive action. They couldn't quite get out of the way. And now Brannon is back in pit lane. So that'll end the stage. By the time we go again, it should be after lap 36. What an end to stage 1. Chaos ensues, and Jack Michelson should win the first stage of the season. Wow. Pure, unadulterated heartbreak for Bucket Boy Bailey Brannon. Let's drag him in for a quick chat. Bailey, I know heart obviously has to be broken right now. How much of an enemy out of you has Kyle Gretsch now made after bump drafting you with only 4 laps to go until the stage end?
Well, he said it was net code. I don't know. I know I wasn't happy with him in the moment. Like, I definitely said something to him. But, yeah, what really sucks is I'm sitting here. I still have 2 minutes left on my toe. So that's not fun. So my race might actually be over. Especially if I go multiple laps down here, but
well, I suppose when they come in on 36, you'll be able to stay out, so you might actually be able to at least get 1 lap back off of the
because whenever it starts to pit, I'll refuel. I'll get my fuel back. So, but yeah, not how I wanted to end the stage for sure, because especially being up front the whole time, and then getting pushed by somebody that I guess clearly hasn't been practicing their pushes.
Well,
it's okay though.
I don't know if he has, but I suppose a learning experience for him. Luckily, you've got
for sure.
Obviously, drop round in hand if it doesn't turn out your way tonight. But plenty of racing still to go. Plenty of opportunities for more cautions to get thrown. We've had 6 in the first 45%. The next 5% we could get another one, which means we get 7 in the last 50. So could be plenty of time to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, but at this point, all that matters is if I'm up front at the end.
Well, we'll see. Strange things have happened, but we'll let you get prepped for the next stage. Great job on your early efforts, and massive heartbreak out to you for that to happen at the front of the field like that.
I know. Thank you, Hamish.
Thank you. Bailey Brannon there, heartbroken as ever. As would be no surprise. Chop saying Kyle doing Kyle things. I have to agree with you. Kyle did the most Kyle thing possible. We spoke about how he has a nosebleed at the front of the field, then he gets a migraine and can't handle being up there, and he has to wreck the first place car. So we're now on to lap 36. At the end of this lap, the stage will technically end, and we'll then hand out the points. Currently, if they don't come into pit lane prior to the end of this lap, it'll be Jack Michelson, Kyle Gretsch, Matt Feely, Jack Anderson, Ryan Bettis, Ben Woods, Brady Stanley, Johnny Rowe, Ricky Hyde, Kurt Chapman. The top 10 and the stage point getters as well. So that is currently, that is what will be. That they will be the points getters for the stage as the stage has ended, and they will get allocated their points. What it will mean is we will go another lap behind the pace car, and we should see drivers come into pit road to get their fuel stops done and get some tyres on the cars as well. Brannon's back out there. He's done his fuel stop. Burling has done his as well. So, you know, big pressure on these boys now to start performing here and get back into the swing of things throughout this race. But how quickly the tables can turn and how quickly the coin can be flipped as well. Lawler in the chat, I can't catch a break. Yeah, it's unfortunate, David. It's really unfortunate. Stuff happens, unfortunately, on track. That's racing. So, Michelson will have control of the field off the restart. Stage is officially ended. So, Michelson, Gretsch, Feely, Anderson, Bettis, Wood, Stanley, Rowe, Hyde, Chapman get the stage points here this evening, finishing inside of the top 10 in a wicked effort. A wicked effort to survive that moment off the restart is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal stuff for those guys to survive like that. Majority of them have been in pit lane. The only ones who haven't is Jack Michelson and Matt Feely. So they went the whole time without needing a pit stop. Brandon would have done the same thing if he wasn't caught up in that incident. So that's really unfortunate for him. We should see them come into pit road now. There's the light's still on the pace car, and we're going to see pit stops getting underway for us here as well. Lawler saying I should have got Lucky Dog and nobody got it 3 cautions back. Well, I can't really do much about that now, David. Unfortunately, as I'm not in control of the settings right now, so I can't really change it whilst we're going. But something that we'll look into to try and make sure it is done properly in future. Interestingly enough, not everyone's actually coming in. They're deciding to stay out for another lap here. So, very interesting strategy on board these cars as we ride on board with Jack Michelson. Now we'll see if the lights go off the pace car. If they don't, then we'll be going another lap. And if we go another lap, then we may see them pit for fuel and tyres. Pace car lights. Can't quite see them through his roll bar, unfortunately. I think they're out. Yeah, they're out. So we're going to restart this time by. So no pit stoppers, interestingly enough. At the end of that stage, they've all decided to stay out. It might have been a strategy there for someone a bit further back. Maybe a John Trott, maybe a Lachlan Capel, maybe a Jake Edwards. Come into pit road, take some fresh fuel, maybe get some tyres on board the car. You're going to end up at the back of the train anyway. Might as well come in and take those, bonuses and see where it gets you to end up later on in the piece. So, plenty of racing still to happen as well. Chop saying, see the tyres haven't helped Kurt and Cable in that short stint. Yeah, they haven't helped them because obviously we went caution after caution there, so that really didn't help their case and their cause either. So it was smarter for guys not to take tyres and to save them for the last portion of it. But how long can we go green off this restart period here? As Jack Michelson will control the field. Gretchen P2. Feely, Anderson, Bettis, the top 5. Plenty of opportunities for things to happen throughout the rest of this race, and plenty of opportunities for cautions to get thrown, anyone to be taken out, and anything to happen. Pace cars in, stage 2 about to get underway. And as we rock and roll towards the start-finish line, it is 43 laps to go of Echo Park Speedway as the 42 clicks over. And it's green flag for stage 2. The run to the checkered flag has begun as we get underway at Atlanta. We can see a couple of cars just scrambling for position back there. Anderson's on a run on the outside line. Michelson trying to hold with him, as does Gretsch. Can Anderson get a run up into P2 here? Bettis is on his heels. There goes Ricky Hyde. Gets really, really loose. Could be a... Yep, there's the caution. I was about to say, could be a caution as Burling drills into the back of him. 7th caution of this race. Should see some pit stops happening. Anderson and Michelson, the top two, as Hyde got really loose off of turn 2 there. Pace car will come out. We'll take this time to have a quick ad break. Back very, very shortly after these short messages from VRS and iRacing. Don't go anywhere. The iRacing World Challenge Rod Knock Cup returns in a few short moments.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back into Echo Park Speedway here out at Atlanta for the first round of Season 2 of the Rod Knock Cup here this evening. It has been an absolute caution fest here tonight, and one that I think has been absolutely, well, diabolical. Well, lap 43 of 80 as we'll get ready to go restarted here under the pace car. Jack Anderson's our current leader, and we're on 7 cautions for 22 laps of this race thus far. It has been absolutely diabolical stuff. Of course, the length of the race is 80 laps. Stage 1 ended at lap 36. We're at 44 laps to go for the final stage, which is currently underway at the moment. So it's going to be a dogfight to the end here this evening. Pace car comes in. Anderson, Gretsch, and Rowe at the front of the field for the restart zone. Highest seated car who pitted under that caution was Ryan Bettis, who pitted on lap 41 as the green flag flies at Atlanta once again. 37 to go as Anderson breaks away from Gretsch. in towards turn 1 and 2, but it shouldn't take them too long to chase him down at this stage of the race. Michelson is now the top-seeded driver to pit on lap 41. That's been his one and only stop this whole race. He sits right in behind Bliss Ferguson, who's a lap down. He's got Capel hot on his heels, who came in under that caution as well. So pit stop strategies are underway, and the pit stops are looking to be as tough as ever. Anderson's got mammoth pressure here from Gretchen behind him, as well as Chapman and Johnny Rowe. A couple of drivers who finished in the top 5 last season are currently in the top 5 in this race, but Dylan Shepherd wants to have something to say about that. Him and his OPR teammates of Jake Edwards and John Trott want to fight their way to the front of the field. They were bygone in the stop. I don't even know what words I'm trying to say anymore. They forgone the stop under the caution. They've stayed out at this stage of the race. The problem is, if they get caught up in a green flag stop scenario, they may be absolutely cooked in this race. That is the gamble the front runners are playing, is that there's going to be another caution here tonight. We are 35 laps to go here at Echo Park Speedway, lap 46 of 80, and that's a big one in behind. John Trott's been caught up in that, as well as Jake Edwards. As round goes Kurt Chapman. Caution is thrown, 8th of the race. And man, oh man, what a moment in this one. What a moment indeed. Echo Park really shaking up the salt shaker for us here of the beginning of tonight's, or this season's championship. So Edwards got a bit loose, made contact with Chapman. He's then gone directly in front of his teammate John Trott. Chapman then into the side of his teammate David Lawler on the high line. And then you just see cars coming left, right and centre trying to avoid. Logan Howard on the low line trying to take evasive action. Brandon made it through somehow. Burling, he seems to have been caught up in every incident tonight, no fault of his own. Well, then that there was a big, big incident. Front runners are going to come in now. So it's smart play from those guys to come in. They get the free pit stop. Might as well take it when it's offered to you for free. Trott will now take the race lead. Michelson will be in P2. Yeaman in P3. Stanley in P4. Feely then in P5. David Lawler should be eligible now for a waiver round due to the lucky dog rule. So we'll see how that now plays out. Hopefully he does get it. And there needs to be some reshuffling of these cars further up the order as well, because a lot of them are a lap down. And they're stuck behind the pace car at the moment. So hopefully this all gets sorted for us. We've of course got Rain Campbell out there. He is laps down in this race, but he's out there for funsies right now, trying to get some more experience in the car, maybe just get himself sorted for the rest of this race. Of course, the Vermilion esports driver representing that team here tonight. Hopefully we see him make the green flag race start in future races this season. Shepherd, Chapman and Edwards are just coming out of pit lane now. Brannon's going to come in. So interesting strategy from him in this one. It's a very shuffled up field. It's incredibly scrambled. That's the race leader, John Trott, in P1. Jack Michelson is in P2 at the moment. He's been running up there all night. Daniel Yeaman's in a few spots back. Good to see from him up the order. Brady Stanley as well is up the order as well. It's great to see. Matt Feely was up here a little while ago. To give you the gains at the moment in this race, Trott's currently up 17, Michelson up 2, Yeaman up 18, Stanley up 19, Feely up 9, Anderson further back is up 8 positions at the moment in this race. So we've got Brendan Griffiths in the chat as well. I was saying it's a pity Angus didn't get the new rig built. He would have enjoyed this. They were saying Dave would have got next and gave up the, I think it says LD, unfortunately here for David. So he runs in this one. Brandon's in, so he's further back in the field. He's got to try and figure out some sort of comeback train here tonight. Those drivers who are a lap down are about to be buried back in the field with to get behind the lead cars. I don't even know if there was actually a waiver round at this stage of the race. I'm not sure. Might have been Nick Burling, possibly. He's further back in the field, so I have no idea. I am incredibly confused at the moment as to why there's not been proper waiver rounds thus far. It's one thing for us to review going forward as to why that hasn't been happening. As everyone continues to settle in for this restart, it'll be too wide once again. We're going to do a crank it up off the restart zone. We'll turn the volumes up a little bit. We'll get the cars sounding as mean and as tough as ever. And see how long we can last under green flag conditions. The gap's going to be tight. Trott's going to have that inside line. Will Michelson drop down, or will he try and fight his way forward with hopefully a bit of push and shove from the cars in behind him? Only time will tell. Pace car will come into pit road. The 8th caution period of this race will end, and we will go green flag running once again at Echo Park. It sounds like an echo every time I say that. It's ironic, isn't it? But into the restart zone we go, and it's green flag running. 31 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, also known as Echo Park. We're lap 50 of 80 at this stage. Michelson plays the smart move, drops down low, tucks in behind Trott. Let's crank it up for a minute here and get the roar of NASCAR around Atlanta. Right on board with John Trott as Jack Michelson gives him a little bump draft across the tri-oval. That was Jack Anderson off the road back there. Big incident in the Skylark entry of the 58 Toyota. It's the 9th caution thrown of this race. And it's a very, very interesting one how this has played out. I wonder how Jack's been caught out there, because we know there's been a bit of scrambling amongst the mid-pack tonight. That's really been where the major danger zone has been for the majority of the drivers. Let's watch this back. So we see Woods just start to ride up on him there. Gets caught up on the rear left-hand quarter and dumps Anderson down onto the apron, and round he goes. Massive sideways action there for the 58 Skylark entry. And now has to get himself resituated towards the rest of this race. He's just had another moment there as well. Further back, he's tried to keep it going again. That's another incident for Anderson, unfortunately for him. So it is really starting to heat up. I see Chop Tomlin's in the general chat. I wonder if we can for a quick little chat. Yeah, that's a quick chat. I'm going to steal him away. Chop, I've just stolen you away from the boys as a viewer here tonight. Is this typical Echo Park, do you reckon?
Well, from last season, you know, the boys are probably starting to still getting used to a little bit of the next gen cars. They do have a lot more power than the old ARCA cars. So going from what they driven last season to now, there'd be a little bit of changes. Plus, they're a lot looser to drive. And now that Echo Park is like, you know, a super speedway where, like, you know, 2 years ago it wasn't. You can hold it flat, which does change the dynamics of how you drive. So some new drivers would probably be struggling a little bit. People who have done super speedways a lot would have, like, you know, adapted a little bit, but it's still going to be hard.
Now, what do you think the strategy should be from here? I mean, we're up 54. We've had 9 cautions throughout the race. So I think we've averaged a caution every 6 laps. If you're at the front of the field, are you just staying out there as long as possible and hope that somehow you caution your way to the end?
Going off of how Lachlan Capel came in a little bit earlier and got caught up in that incident and probably had to come in and use that fast repair that he had to, you know, repair his front end damage that he got. It would make sense to stay up the front. It's the less chance of getting your car damaged. Unless you really need to come in for fuel, I would be staying out and just, you know, playing the safe game. Trying not to bump people and just, like, you know, lifting off, coasting, and just trying to survive is the way I would be tackling this sort of situation.
Obviously, watching it from the outside, how have you seen some of these sort of incidents happening tonight? I mean, there's been a couple where cars have ridden up on others, and others have kind of just cut the nose off and getting a bit loose. Do you think that just comes down to how loose these cars can be, especially on a lower fuel level at 50% tank capacity?
Yeah, it will be because they run looser, and like, you know, going from an ARCA to this, the ARCAs were pretty tight until they got loose. So people still getting used to, you know, running these a bit tighter, and then just, you know, just losing the rear. It's going to take some time, but like I said as well, like this being a super speedway, you can run like, you know, 3 wide, and doing that in like the mid pack is very dangerous.
Well, we'll see if any more dangers come the way of these drivers, or if they can get a better chance at luck here tonight. But thanks so much.
Yeah, depending on how many laps they've got, you might see 1 or 2 more cautions if they settle down a little bit at least. Anyway.
We've got at least 25 laps to go, so I'll jump back down to the boys to let them talk their off. Thanks so much for having a chat. Hopefully we'll see you back in future seasons.
Hopefully.
No worries, thanks, mate. Oh, Chop Tomlin there. Of course, last season's runner-up in the championship. I'll take part this season, watching it from the outside. Fair bit of overall experience with him. Get his thoughts on this incident, or on these incidents that have happened tonight, and the races happened tonight as well. Unfortunately, he's saying, wait, did Chop just say the safe way is the way he'd run? Oh, wow. Well, I mean, yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? It is a cross the green line in my crash. I've got a penalty to set. Oh, it's a shame. Hopefully there's enough time for you to get back in this one. Pace cars in. Green flag's going to fly once again as we head up towards the Echo Park restart zone here in Atlanta. Super Speedway action continues here. Green flag, 25 to go out at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Super Speedway now. Michelson leads the way. Capel back up into P2 after getting contact earlier in the race and playing an offshore strategy. Yeaman's up there too. Gretchen Feely in the top 5. Bettis, Stanley, Shepard, Rowe, Chapman, that's the top 10. Bit of scrambling in the back of the train as well, as we often kind of expect at this point of the race. But Capel, I mean, he proved in the first part of the race he's very safe to have right behind you. So Michelson should not have too much issue having him right behind him, but it's going to be crunch time for Capel to make a move, as here comes Shepard outside line of Matt Feely. Ryan Bettis, it's Ryan Bettis on the outside line, sorry. Shepard on the inside there. Drivers just getting caught out as they rocket towards turn 3 and 4, and they try and settle into their grooves. Ando's in to serve that penalty, so that may drop him a lap down on the race leaders as Michelson leads us through turn 4. Could he start the season off with a race win? Could he go perfect here at Echo Park? Get the stage win and the race win too. Well, Capel will have something to say about it. Yeaman wants to have a part or a piece of the pie as well. So does Gretsch, Shepard and Rowe and Chapman and Edwards and Hyde and Feely. A couple of those guys have been in the wars tonight. But with about to be 22 laps to go, this is where it's crunch time. If there's a long green period, it means we could see pit stops. If there's caution after caution, it'll be the most boring way to finish the race, but it may spice up the strategy just a little bit here. Gretsch is now caught out with Chapman on that inside line. Edwards going to follow him through, tries to cover the line of Feely in behind him. There's Kyle Gretsch. Hyde now up his inside as well, so he's dropping positions here. Like a kid drops his marbles in the playground. He's got to try and pick them up as quickly as possible before the PE teacher sees he's got him. Michelson leads the battle with Capel. Yeaman and Shepard tucked right up behind each other. Rowe is doing a great job up in P5. He's got Chapman on his heels, the defending champion, on board the number 1 entry. Edwards as well in P7. Oh, there it goes. Who was that in the background? It wasn't Anderson. I think that might have been Brady Stanley. It was Stanley who stopped right on the banking there. He's got to try and get that car going again. Will the yellow flag be thrown or not? He can't pull it up. He has to back it back down. That there could be a penalty coming his way. No caution is thrown. No caution is thrown, very luckily, because the race leaders were coming up on that moment, and that could have been all hell breaking loose if they had caught a car facing the wrong way on the circuit as they run down the back straight once again, and thunder towards turn 2, towards 3 and 4. 20 to go. It's maximum pressure moments like this that make or break you. And it's these sorts of moments that can make or break your season as well. There you see Anderson just up the road. He's come out of pit road. He is a lap down on the race leaders. He's got Stanley up ahead of him, and then the race leaders are charging on him as the caution is thrown. It's a massive incident for Daniel Yeaman and Kurt Chapman. Yeaman into the wall. Very, very hard at the visit entry corner. How in the hell has that happened for the 85 Orbit Drop Bear car? He had Edwards on his inside, and there's just been contact between them. Round goes Yeaman. Rowe got caught up in it, gave him a little kith. Somehow Chapman, he got a little bit of damage but avoided the majority of it. It wasn't actually Edwards, I apologise. It was, I think that was the 34 car. Was that Dylan Shepherd? It was Dylan Shepherd. So a hotly contested moment at that point. 10th caution of the race. A massive moment. But what this could mean is, actually I think he might have still gotten his wave around. I was going to say, could Bailey Brannan get his wave around to get back onto the lead lap? Or has it gone to Brady Stanley? Wow. What a race this has been. Completely turned on its head by the chaos that has ensued. Shepherd's in, Chapman's in, Edwards in, as they traverse into pit road. Michelson, Capel and Rowe are the top 3 of this race. What an event Echo Park has been. What a season we could be in for as well for the rest of this championship. It has been chaos tonight. I don't expect it to be chaos for the rest of the season, but next week at Homestead, Miami, 69 nice laps there is going to be intense, and it's going to be a tough night for them. It's going to be a very tough night for these drivers next week when we head down to Florida. But, wow, I mean, this here, as Brannan gets his way around for the lucky dog, so he is now back, I think, is he back on the lead lap? No, he's still a lap down. So he is now 1 lap down on the race leaders. So he should now get his next lucky dog if there's another caution to put him back onto the lead lap. He needs an 11th caution in this race for that to happen. So the name of the game right now really is just survival. It is a survival game. We're within 20 laps to the end. If you're at the front, you're staying out as long as possible. There's no point gambling to come in for fuel if you're able to stay out there. If you do want to run it as long as possible, you obviously then come in and take tyres and fuel. But you've also got to be able to balance that properly where you don't give up too much time in pit lane and get buried in the field. So this could be a very intriguing game to be played across the rest of this piece. For Michelson, well, he will just be hoping to survive in P1. Cape will want to survive up there too. Rowe would love to. He's up 14 in this race. Trott would love to survive in the top 10. He's up 12 at this stage of the proceedings. So there's been some good gainers in towards the top 10 and the top 5. But plenty of action still to come. Plenty of opportunity for chaos to ensue. But also just plenty of opportunity for drivers to get lost in the shuffle of the challenges that is, or the challenge that is, the Next Gen NASCAR. And these are the challenges it brings. It's loose. It's tough to drive. You know, half fuel tank makes the car really unpredictable. But that, again, that's in the heart of the challenge of the series, isn't it? We want to make it fun. We want to make it challenging. But we just want you to go out there and have a crack and see what happens. And that's what these drivers are doing here tonight at Echo Park. But the caution's about to end. We're about to go racing once again at the commencement of lap 66. 15 laps to go. We get back underway. Brendan in the chat says, I don't think we're done wrecking. I don't think we are, Brendan. I think we could be on possibly for overtime with a green-white checkered at the end of this one, but that's just me saying that quietly. So Michelson and Capel, this is going to be a tough battle between them. It's going to be tough for Capel to get past because he's going to need a run to get past Michelson. He's going to need some help from Ricky Hyde to get onto the back of him, give him a bit of a push and help him run forward. The only other option is try and split the gap between Michelson and Rowe and then tuck right up behind Michelson and see if you can get back past him. Brendan's predicting 4 more yellows. Well, we had 7 in the first 50%. Could have 7 in the last 15% as well, which would smash the record for amount of cautions in a single race. As the pace car comes in, we'll get to the restart zone. Once again, it's green flag running at Echo Park Super Speedway. 15 laps to the checkered flag. Lap 66 of 80. It is anyone's game at the front of the field. What does the strategy look like for them, though? And how well can they survive? As Michelson and Capel go together, Rowe tucks back into his rhythm. He's got Woods on his outside. Gretsch would love to help Rowe continue his way forward because it would help him as well. But the chaos sometimes causes the issues as Chapman has a massive moment on the tri-oval. 11th caution thrown. It'll be a single file restart as Chapman has to get himself prepped up once again. Michelson is still in this race lead. But the more cautions we get, the more this helps the front runners. Who was that coming in? I think that might have been Jack Anderson. No, it wasn't Jack Anderson. It wasn't me. It was a Daniel game, and I think it might have been. Was it Brady Stanley? It was Brady Stanley. So Stanley's in. Stanley's in for his final stop. Oh, he's actually just... No, he just blinked and towed. So no, he's having some issues there. I don't know what's happening with Brady, but we'll see what happens. So Bailey Brannan should get another wave around. This will now put him back onto the lead lap, which will put him back in contention for this race. So how quickly it can turn around for some drivers out there. Wow, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff at this point of the race. To have it go down like this thus far has been chaos. Absolute chaos. Now, this one Alt F4, he might have Alt F4'd, I'm not sure. He's gone, he's out, so I don't know. He came into pits and then he's just disappeared, so it's really odd. That's happened for Brady. Hopefully we see him back again. Brannan gets his wave around. And back on the lead lap goes Bucket Boy. So there's still hope. There's still hope in the glimmer in the eye of Bailey Brannan, who led the first few laps of this race. You gotta remember, he led 33 laps at the start of tonight before getting caught up with Kyle Gretsch. Jack Michelson has led 23 laps of this one. There's been a toing and froing between some drivers and who's led more. Right now, Bailey Brannan has led the most laps of this race. This is going to be crunch time now for these drivers. Real crunch time. If you're in the front, let's say front 5, you don't risk coming in. Maybe even front 6, you don't risk coming in. Anyone behind, well, you're already in the mid-pack. If you think the fuel numbers are reading, you need to get home and you haven't pitted yet, come in, get the fuel, get the car home, see what happens. Anything can occur for these drivers tonight. We've already seen that happen to a lot of drivers across this race. So anything could go down for them. So when we get underway again, it'll be, you know, interesting gameplay throughout the rest of this race. Can Michelson hold on for a race win and go perfect tonight at Echo Park? Can Capel come back from an early mistake in pit lane that then caused him to be in the mid-pack, caught up in an incident, and has now fought his way back up to P2 after 4 pit stops in this race? Could Johnny Rowe pull off the miracle on tarmac and get an audacious win out of P3, up 14 positions at the moment? Woods could get up there. Gretsch could get up there. Bettis, Hyde, Howard, Trott, Shepherd, they could all get up there. As Brennan's just said, anyone outside the top 10, you maybe come in, take some fresh rubber, get some fuel on board the car to get home. So this could be an interesting scenario for us. Oh, Brady in the chat, don't need fresh rubber. No one used the first set. Well, Brady, hopefully we see you back next time out. I'm not sure what happened to you tonight, but we hope to see you back again soon. Green flag running at Echo Park. 11 laps to go. As Jack Michelson gets us back underway, lap 70 of 80. Ben Woods, Johnny Rowe battling away for P3. Gretsch in behind. There you see Bettis and Hyde as well. So it is crunch time. Crunch time now for the front runners to figure something out and figure out how they can make it to the end. If it goes green flag to the end, then it's going to be a spicy scenario on who can make it. Michelson pit on lap 41. Capel pit on 47, as did Rowe and Gretsch. Hyde pit on 53. Bettis, Howard, Woods on 47. Trott on 53. Shepherd on 63. Can Michelson make it home on fuel? That is the tough question to ask. If he can't, well, if it goes green flag to the end, it might be a little bit hairy for him. You see those scrambling for position and behind them. Drivers are trying to find a way through. Here comes Yeaman on the inside line of those OPR cars of Shepherd and of John Trott as well. He can't quite find a way through. As Michelson continues to lead this battle, if a caution is thrown, it's going to throw it all into chaos. As John Trott goes round. John Trott has gone round. It's the 12th caution of this race. How has this happened to him? Oh, he just got real loose at turn 1-2 and off the road he went. It's unfortunate for him. Brady saying the amount of cautions has made it not fun, to be honest, so I just pulled in. I'm sorry to hear that, Brady. Hopefully it's not a caution fest next week at Homestead. I mean, Echo Park can be known to have a bit of cautions, so hopefully this isn't a regular thing to happen this season. Otherwise, we may need to try and figure out some changes. But I appreciate, the honesty and I appreciate the feedback as well. Both Jack and I do. So, we're more than happy to hear the feedback, and yeah, we appreciate you being honest about it. Brendan, you are halfway right at the moment, but we're losing laps for you to get to 4. That's the problem. We're losing laps at the moment. So, are they going to risk it? I think they are. Because I think if you were going to come in, you were going to come in now. There wouldn't be any point staying out now if you couldn't make it home on fuel. You wouldn't try and risk it for the biscuit. The race is not going to end under caution. So, we're always going to get a green-white checkered to the very end. But it has been a chaos-filled race, it must be said. Absolute chaos. Put your predictions in the chat though. I mean, how is this going to go? Is it going to be Michelson? Could it be Capel, Rowe, Gretsch, Hyde? Could be any of those guys. Could be Bettis or Mark Howard or Ben Woods or Dylan Shepherd, Daniel Yeaman. Could he sneak up there? Could it be someone from outside the top 10? Could we have pure chaos in the top 10 and we see a Jake Edwards, a Kurt Chapman, a Nick Burley, a Bailey Brown, and a John Trotter, a Matt Feely sneak their way to a race win? I mean, it seems to be anyone's game. Right now, the front runners obviously would be Michelson or Capel. The question mark is on top of Michelson. Can he make it home? He's got 6 laps less worth of fuel on board the car compared to Lachlan Capel. But can he make it home with those 6 laps left? It would mean he would have done 39 laps on one tank. Yes, majority of it was under caution, of course. Because if we look at the race recap, it's been 12 cautions for 35 laps of this race. So it's been a long period under caution, this one. We are on lap 74 of 80. We're going to come around to start lap 75. And I think we'll go green on lap 76. So that will be 5 laps to go. 5 laps for these drivers to clean up, get ready, and stay green to the end. Because it has been a really loose affair out there. Time will tell, and time will answer all questions of who will win, who will end up where, who will get caught up in incidents. It will all be told in the tale of Echo Park Superspeedway. Pace cars getting ready to come in. It's going to be a 2-wide restart off the line here. Opportunity for drivers like Rowe or Gretsch to pull off an all-time performance and start their season with a podium. Opportunity for Michelson to build upon what he did last season. Opportunity for Capel to benefit off the chaos tonight and start his run here in the IRWC on board the Rodnock Cup in strong fashion. He did well in the Porsche Cups last season. Could do well in the Rodnocks this season as well. Could it be Ricky Hides to sneak away? Could it be Ryan Bettis, Mark Howard, Ben Woods, Daniel Yeaman, Dylan Shepherd? Realistically, as chaotic as it's been, it's anyone's game who's left on the lead lap at this point of the race. 5 laps of Atlanta. Let's go 5 laps. Let's go 5 laps under green. Let's make it interesting. Let's not go into overtime. Let's not get a green-white checkered scenario. Come on, boys. Let's go green flag to the end and get a hell of a dogfight for the race win of the first round of the season. Michelson won the stage in stage 1. Can he meet the checkered flag as the race winner in 5 laps time? Restart zone, and restart is underway at Echo Park. 5 laps left to run. Who's going to be the benefactor of all the chaos that has ensued? Capel and Michelson have gone together. Rowe leads the low line training behind them with Hyde and Bettis on board. Gretsch is dropping positions. Woods trying to stay in there as well. Howard and Shepherd and Edwards battling away on that low line too. That's now dropped Gretsch to the back end of the top 10. As we run round turn 4. Big slide from Ben Woods and Hyde in the wall. Kyle Gretsch has been caught up in that as well. No caution. No caution has been thrown for that incident there. So we're still green flag running with 4 left to run. 3.5 now. Michelson, Capel, Rowe the top 3. Drivers are trying to stay in their lane, trying to stay on their marks as well. Yeaman's got a good run in behind. He's up 15 into P6 now in this race. 3 left to run. It has been intense. Absolutely intense. Feels like we've been going camping. It's that intense. As Michelson and Capel run head to toe, nose to tail, around turn 3. Can Capel get a run on the DeWalt entry of Jack Michelson? Or will he have to settle for second? Will they make contact and give Johnny Rowe an all-time race win? It's 2 to go. If the caution is thrown on this lap, it'll be a green-white checkered scenario and we'll go to overtime. Watch for Bailey Brannon in the background. He's trying to sneak his way back up there here. As we run up towards turn 3 and 4. White flag when we cross the line. 1 more lap to go after 1 hour and 19 minutes and 40 seconds. We meet the white flag at Echo Park Superspeedway. Michelson and Capel are on this thing. Which one of them can get the moment in the sun? Which one of them can get into the top slotted position? Rowe will be getting a nosebleed being so far up the order. Ricky Hyde wants to have something to say about it going on the midline. Can he get a run on the Camry? As Michelson comes round turn 4, Jack Michelson got the stage win, and he does the double in Atlanta. Capel home in P2, Johnny Rowe in an all-time effort home in P3 ahead of Dylan Shepherd, Ricky Hyde in the top 5, Kurt Chapman, Jake Edwards, Daniel Yeaman, Ryan Bettis, and Matt Feely inside of the top 10. Mark Howard, John Trott, Bailey Brannon, Kyle Gretsch, Nick Burling, the last of the cars on the lead lap, David Lawler, Jack Anderson, Logan Howard, Ben Woods, Bliss Ferguson. Further back in the field, Brady Stanley, Rain Campbell, Ashton Rees, Trey Graber. Non-finishers here tonight. Unofficially, it is Jack Michelson in P1. Unofficially, but what a race to the end. Unbelievable effort. Unbelievable effort, but a fantastic effort from Mr. Michelson as he gets his burnouts going and he gets himself sorted here. Let's have a quick chat to him as the first race winner of the season. Mr. Michelson, congratulations. Not only a race winner here tonight, the stage winner as well. Massive points haul for you. Started inside of the top 4. You managed to get yourself one hell of a finish in the end of that race. Congratulations.
Oh man, thank you very much. I am buzzing. That was such a cool race. A very stressful one from a driver's seat. But over the moon. Couldn't ask for a better start to the championship. Couldn't ask for a better race. Obviously, there was a bit of chaos, but I took a bit of a gamble and pitted quite early, like as the stage was, and lost a lot of track position, which at the time I was kind of nervous about. And then obviously the fuel numbers themselves were looking pretty scary for most part of that. It was only the last couple of cautions that I was actually going to make it. So pretty touch and go, but yeah, absolutely buzzing.
I mean, as I said, not only a race win, but a stage win as well in the end. So pretty much maximum points for you. How does this now set you up for the rest of the season? I mean, does this fill you with confidence for the rest of the season, or do you think there's still work to be done for the rest of the piece, across the rest of this? Because I honestly think tonight, barring maybe Chicago or Bristol, I think tonight probably, or maybe even Dega, should be our most chaotic race, maybe our most caution-filled race of the season. Next week at Miami, do you think it's going to be a similar case, or do you think we may have a bit more clean running on offer for us when we go racing in Florida?
I hope we have a bit more clean running in Miami. Like it was a lot of like short fire, short sprints, I suppose, with this race. So the intensity was there, but it would have been nice to be able to go long. And if we even saw some green flag stops, that would have been pretty cool. But in terms of, confidence, massive booster going into it. I honestly did not expect myself. I thought I'd be lucky to crack the 10 with some of the names in here and very talented individuals, and myself not only just really beginning my oval journey. It was a bit of a gamble, and I can't be more stoked. I'm actually pretty hyped up at the minute, as you could probably tell. So,
well, we'll let you get out of here and get the adrenaline settled. But congrats on your race win, Jack. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to for myself and the rest of the league. Congratulations on the first race win of the season and some crucial championship points on the road to the playoffs come the season's end.
Thank you very much. Massive shout out to Jacko and everyone that organises this league, yourself for broadcasting it, everyone that participates. It's such cool to see such a big field for round 1 and hopefully see it continue to build. Another shout out for Jacko for doing my awesome livery of my real life car, so that's pretty cool. And to bring it to Victory Lane's pretty special. So can't wait to keep going and see where we end up.
You'll have to show Anton and say, hey, this is what you got to do at Bathurst in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. But no, cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks so much, Jacko. And best of luck next week out at Homestead. Next up, we have P2 on the road here tonight from Evolution Racing Team. It is Lachlan Capel. Lachlan, you're no stranger to Victory Lane here in the IRWC, of course, race winner last season in the Porsche Cups. This season, it's P2 in the end for the Rodnock Cups round 1 here tonight. You ran up the front quite consistently throughout this race. You were tucked right in behind Bailey for a long period. You then pitted early and got caught up in that mid-pack, which then caused you to get caught up in a wreck and cop a little bit of damage. Was there instant regret when that happened, or did you think there's still plenty of time to come back in this race?
No, I knew I could move up the field. I mean, I haven't driven these next gens in a long time, but I'm not a stranger to NASCAR, so I knew I could move up somehow. It's just the very frustrating things with these cars is the very tiny aero bubble, which is why I couldn't ever pass him at the end. I just got stuck, so I was full throttle for the last 3 laps, but it made no difference because I needed a 3rd car or a 4th car behind me to be able to break the bubble to even have a shot. I thought I had a shot maybe a couple times. I got really close, but then I realized I just hadn't broken that bubble enough to actually get to him. So in terms of that pit strategy, I thought it might work pitting early because then I can just sort of dawdle at the back. I did get involved in a few wrecks, but I knew I could get back up there and eventually just sort of sit there, whilst at the end, especially the midfield was very danger zone like.
Well, I think that this is probably the extreme case of Echo Park with how bad cautions can be. Do you envision Miami next week being a similar case, or do you think it could maybe be a little bit better just based on the fact that we're probably not going to see 3 wide running around corners, and it may be more of a strategy and pick your time to make the run more so next week than here at Echo Park, where it's foot to the floor and hope for the best?
Yeah, so first off, Miami, you actually need to lift and or brake. So it just goes back to the normal cookie cutter 1.5 miles that I think quite a few people are used to. So we're going to actually see, I think, a little bit of skill level from some drivers be on display next week. In terms of runs, you can still go 3 wide. It's very similar. It's like a smaller version of Michigan, or a smaller version of a much smaller version of Auto Club and stuff like that, where you're running quite a bit very, very wide in terms of pack racing. But yeah, I envisage that next week's going to be a lot more like a normal NASCAR race compared to this week, which I can only relate to Daytona, but smaller.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun though next week at Homestead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as unpopular opinion it may be. Homestead's the home of my favorite oval road course. I don't know why I'm eclectic maybe, but I'm excited to see oval racing there because I think it's going to be a really fun time. A good challenge for those drivers who are learning, but as you said, a good skill display for those who've got a lot of laps in these cars and a lot of experience in stock car racing as well. So I think everything's going to be on display for them. And I think it's going to be a good mixture. Based on what you've said, I don't know if it's going to be as chaotic as tonight, but I think there definitely will be some caution still, of course. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun time.
It will be. I think you're not going to do a NASCAR race without caution. It's not possible unless you have a very, very consistent group of people that don't hate each other. So what I envisage, if they didn't do Atlanta like this and they kept it like the old Atlanta, which was one of my favorite tracks in the service, you would have seen a very, very similar driving style to that of Texas. Where it's very tire conservation like, which they have unfortunately changed to now be a super speedway for some unknown reason up in the clouds of America. But yeah, it's pack racing to change it. Fuel strategy, as you said, might come into play as well. So we'll have to see how we go next week.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. But Lachlan, let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. For myself, and the rest of the admin and all of us here in IRWC. Congratulations on P2 here this evening and a solid start to your championship run this season in the Rodnott Cup.
Yeah, it's a good start. So I appreciate everyone putting on the league. Appreciate you guys for accepting me late because I had to sign up at work this afternoon. So a little bit late, but I knew I definitely wanted to come do this because I heard a couple mates of mine were doing it and I wanted to get in on the NASCAR because I'm missing that a little bit with driving V8s too much. Big shout out to Evolution Racing team. We've got a bit of an old paint going for this round. Probably need to do a bit of an update to it.
Yeah, it's about a 18-month-old retro at this point, or maybe 12-month-old at this point.
Oh, I reckon more 24 month, maybe 36-month-old with some of the sponsors. But
well,
the core sponsor of Logitech
is the Logitech G, so that's all that matters.
Correct. Exactly.
Maybe I'll whisper in Bretton's ear on Monday. I'll be like, "Oh, get Lockie an updated paint for Fridays. He's nearly won the race, and you want to have the sponsors on display." But no, fantastic effort, Lockie, and we look forward to seeing how you go throughout the rest of this season. But as well, looking forward to see how you go in your other racing ventures as well outside of the league too. I know that obviously you participate in supercars races as well, and really just excited to see where your year of 2025 and how it can end, and if it can end in something prosperous for yourself. So best of luck in all your racing endeavours.
Yeah, thanks. I hope Enduros do go well. I will be missing Bathurst for Pro Series, unfortunately, due to real-world commitments. But other than that, I'll do the best with what I've got, and hopefully we can go somewhere.
Well, all time will tell. Best of luck, Lockie, and yeah, appreciate your time once again.
Thanks, Hamish.
Thank you. Next up in what can only be described as some sort of angelical performance. Mr. Johnny Rowe in P3. Johnny, how in the hell have you pulled that off?
Tonight was a lot of luck and missing a lot of the drama that was going on, like on lap 62, when those two boys spun in front of me. I thought it was all over.
I mean, maybe it wasn't a kiss of death. Maybe it was a kiss of good luck when you tapped the front of the car. But I mean, you would have missed it. I described it as an angelical performance. I mean, up 14 onto the podium after your performance of the last round of last season. Could you have asked for possibly a better way to start your championship, knowing who the two drivers were ahead of you and the fact that you beat everybody else? I mean, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, definitely good, because I'm unfortunately going to be missing round 2, so it's a good way to start, and with some stage points as well, which is cool that we've got the stages in this season, so adds a bit more of a feature for it.
Well, not just that. I mean, drop rounds may help you as well, but you got your way into a top 5 last season. You only need a top 10 to make the playoffs. I mean, anything can happen throughout the rest of the season, and it could go your way very easily.
Yeah, and as we know with Oval, yeah, you're right, anything can happen.
I mean, unfortunately for Brady
Especially
Stanley,
with Kyle in there.
Yeah, well,
if Kyle's in the race, anything will happen.
Unfortunately for Brady Stanley, he was a bit disappointed with some of the lane changing tactics of drivers out there. So maybe he did some drivers may just need to cool things down a little bit. I don't know, but apart from the fact that was a caution fest and it took us an hour and 20 minutes to get to the checkered, I think it was there was still some good racing in there. I mean, next week's, you're not going to be next week, but next week's going to be a strategy game and a skill show off because of lifting and braking into corners and stuff like that. But I think throughout this season, there's going to be big tests for some drivers, and I think some drivers will actually shine at some tracks that others may not, and then vice versa throughout as well. So it'll be a good test to see.
Yeah, I've done some laps at Bristol Dirt already, just to sort of feel out the cars. And
of course,
I'm really looking forward to that.
Filthy fan, you love a bit of dirt.
Yeah, a bit of sideways action.
A bit of sideways. Well, that one we may be here for 3 hours. Bristol Dirt, but we live for the chaos. But Johnny, congratulations, a massive effort. Should be very proud of that effort here tonight, and a fantastic run to the end. So let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to for myself and Ando and the rest of the league. Congrats on P3, and best of luck in a couple of weeks' time when you're back here in the league.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, just want to thank you and Jacko for putting on the league and all the boys for a fun race and a lot of banter.
Well, there's always a bit of banter going, but appreciate your time, Johnny. Thanks so much, and best of luck in a few weeks' time when you're back here with us in the Rod Knot Cup.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring an end to round 1 here this evening, and what was a chaos-filled affair. I mean, could it get any more Rod Knot Cup than that? I think it was 12 cautions in the end, a massive run home in what was a chaos-filled race. Actually, let's have a look, actually. So before we show that, let's have a quick look here. So no, it's not going to show up because we're on the replay, so don't disregard. But, if you want to join us for more action, hit that like button, subscribe, and the bell icon too, because there's so much more to come this season. Throughout the rest of this series, the Porsche Cups as well on the Mondays, the Season 25 of the V8 Veterans on Saturday nights as well. So much more stuff to come your way here on the channel, and you guys do not want to miss it. But I've been Hamish Munro. This has been the iRacing World Challenge Rod Knot Cup, round 1 of Season 2. A big shout out has to go to all of our series sponsors, VRS, Infinity Broadcasting, SPP Graphics, and Black Art Designs as well. They help get us on the road, as well as get our great drivers on track each week too. But as I said, I've been Hamish Munro. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you for being here with us once again. We'll see you guys next week at Homestead, Miami for 69 nice laps. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
High side, low side, gunning for a gold. 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire. Fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for light it up.